Hi, I'm Taylor, and I am a psychology master's student in industrial organizational psychology. And I chose this track because it afforded me the option to choose between a psychology, potentially a doctoral degree, or to go ahead and work in the field immediately after. And for me, that was a good mix of things, the specific program that I've chosen to be a part of at the University of West Florida. Now, currently, I decided that moving from a psychology doctoral degree is not where I want to be in the next, couple of years. I wanted to go ahead and move into a position in the work environment and gain some experience before I would reconsider if that's appropriate for my future goals. And so what I'm really interested in is working with the military and being either a consultant within an organization like that, or working in personnel selection, those types of things within the IO field. Okay, so the type of coursework that I'm involved in is the core coursework to IO itself is like organizational psychology, personnel selection, training and development, these types of things that encompass both the I, the industrial, and the O, the organizational side of things. I think one aspect of the program that I'm in that is, I guess, most useful that I find is the experience that we get working with organizations in consulting environments. So we're actually going out and conducting, performing actual consulting work, of course, free of charge, but we get to go through the motions of everything and come out with a professional product in the end. And currently I'm involved in an organizational development type project, consulting work, with a particular organization where we're doing some assessment and determining needs of the company and to come up with a product for them to use. The difference between graduate school and being an undergraduate is the type of relationship that you have with your professors is one of maybe more of like a colleague sort of relationship, that I enjoy that sort of mutual respect that we share between grad student, professor, and that more is expected of us, I believe, at this level. I think some of the more difficult aspects of being a graduate student are the frequency of presentations. Having those skills are important. For me, I do a lot of formal presentations in class every semester. Writing is also a big component of these classes, and discussing during class, being prepared for this sort of discussion-oriented or format within class is also a huge deal. So that just really entails a lot of time management, I think more so than being an undergraduate. I think you can kind of maybe get away with that a little bit more, but in this situation, it's not a matter of getting away with something. You also want to contribute so that you add some value to the class, and everybody has this kind of that's their kind of thought process. So everyone is very much interested in these things, in what's being talked about within the course. So some salient bits of advice for anybody that's interested in graduate school in psychology and IO, I think are, for me, I try to do anything and everything from asking grad students themselves, what's it like to be in graduate school, what's going to be helpful, to asking other doctoral students, asking the chair of the psychology department, and this person told me very cut and dry what's necessary, and the process for admittance to a university, to a graduate program, can be very brutal, as he put it to me. So I thought, oh, well, maybe I could take another semester to do some coursework, extra, get some stats classes in there, developmental, just basic psychology, social psychology, just all around coursework. But he really suggested that I take a year more, and that's basically what I did. I didn't think that was going to be what it was necessary, but that I think was what was necessary to be able to make it into a good graduate program. I also was involved in a lot of research. I just went up to people and said, hey, can I be a part of your research? Just talk to some grad students, talk to some professors, and they pointed me in the direction that I needed to go, and just kind of picked and choose from there. And I also was fortunate enough to have a mentor through the process who I shadowed a little bit, got just more conversations about graduate school, just to understand what it's like. And we went to a conference together and got that experience under my belt. Did a couple of things like that. Being involved in research, as I said, I think is a good way to, we'll say, be competitive for a graduate program. And also, I read several books to kind of prepare me to just further advice that I could use throughout that whole process. One book was called Getting In, which was written by a grad student at the time, that just kind of spans the whole sort of mapping out the process of applying to grad schools, choosing grad schools, and maybe even more importantly, before you get to that point, what's the right choice for me as far as what field within psychology, And for me, I thought IO would be a good fit. So those are some things I think that would be helpful and beneficial to anyone who is interested in pursuing a graduate degree.